Build smart, move fast, get the edge of last. This is the Catalyst.
And welcome to The Catalyst, the podcast by the Long Beach Area Chamber of Commerce. I'm your host, Stuart Takehara, VP of Membership here at the Chamber. I want to welcome you to The Catalyst. Over the past several weeks, we've been bringing you the Small Business Resiliency Series. It's a collection of conversations with business owners from across Long Beach. We've talked with restaurant owners and fitness operators, retailers, service businesses, entrepreneurs, and community leaders. They come from different industries and they have different backgrounds and different business models, but something interesting happened because even though these businesses are all very different, many of them are facing the exact same challenges, and perhaps even more importantly, they're finding many of the same solutions. So today, I want to take a step back and share some of the biggest things that emerged throughout this series. And the first thing we heard over and over again is that consumers are still spending money. They're just spending it differently. People haven't stopped buying and they haven't stopped going out, but they are paying much closer attention to where every dollar goes. Joseph Gray from Hotworks probably said it best.
People want value to make the dollar make sense.
That idea showed up in almost every conversation. Thea from Wicked Wolf talked about how higher costs are impacting consumer behavior.
Gas prices are higher and everything is more expensive. And so people, instead of going out to drink, they're just going to stay home.
People are still wanting to spend. They just need a reason. And that brings us to the second major theme of this series. Many businesses aren't necessarily seeing smaller transactions. They're seeing customers come in less often. Caprice from Urbane Cafe explained it this way.
I don't think it's a per check charge. I think it's more of like a frequency.
And Rob from Alley Cat Deliveries noticed the same thing.
Sales haven't been as strong as they were in the past. And that's where I feel like the economy is taking a pinch on everyone's pocket.
Jax from Watch Me Sports Bar puts it in probably the most honest way possible.
We've also had those moments where we're wondering, where is everyone? And why is it crickets today?
Businesses aren't necessarily losing customers. They're seeing customers become more selective. And because customers are becoming more selective, businesses are having to work harder than ever to earn their attention. One thing became very clear throughout this series. Nobody is sitting back and waiting for customers to show up. Leonard Chan from Midnight Oil talked about all the ways businesses are adapting.
We're needing to do a lot more, happily too, it's fun to do a lot more collaborations, pop-ups, specials, menu flips.
Joseph from Hotworks said it even more directly.
There's nothing outside of traditional boots on the ground right now. It's a lot of hard work.
And Jax from Watch Me Sports Bar summed up her entire strategy in just one sentence.
I became an event planner. I learned that early on to pivot and get people to come out of their home and try to get those butts and seats.
That is resilience. Businesses are creating reasons for people to engage, reasons to visit, and reasons to come back. Another theme that surfaced repeatedly was the importance of community, not just as a nice idea and not as a marketing slogan, but as a survival strategy. BC Hoffman from BC's Ices explained it this way.
One of the big keys to that is other small businesses and businesses helping businesses.
And Caprice from Urbane Cafe echoed that same sentiment.
Lean into the communities because that is really what is the best thing to help move you forward.
And Rob from Alley Cat Deliveries reminded us why people support local businesses in the first place.
I've always ran with people over profit.
Finally, Theo from Wicked Wolf reminded us what happens when we spend locally.
The money invested in a local small business stays in town.
Community isn't a buzzword, it's an economic engine. Another lesson I heard repeatedly was that businesses that survive are the ones that are willing to adapt. Nobody I interviewed was doing business the exact same way they did 2 or 3 years ago, or even just 1 year ago. Jax from Watch Me Sports Bar probably said it best.
Honestly, if we had stayed stagnant and just gone the path of what a typical bar restaurant does, we wouldn't be here right now. So I had to get very creative along the way.
And Caprice from Urban Cafe talked about how consumer behavior changed almost overnight.
We saw the shift, obviously, of predominantly in restaurant go straight to online ordering.
And Joseph from Hotworks focused on understanding the market before making decisions.
Do your homework, do your research, make sure the demographic fits your product.
And finally, Rob from Alley Cat showed us that sometimes adapting means letting go of something that isn't working.
I realized I couldn't control it. So that's when I stopped.
The businesses that survive are not always the biggest. They're often the ones that are most adaptable. We also heard challenges around staffing, finding people, keeping people, and developing people. Thea from Wicked Wolf described it like this.
That's always a trick with small business, especially in the restaurant business, is how to have just enough staff.
Jax from Watch Me Sports Bar said staffing has been one of her biggest challenges.
I feel like that's actually the toughest part of this business, is figuring out the staffing.
And Caprice from Urban Cafe offered a different perspective.
We develop our people.
That investment in people may be one of the reasons Urban Cafe continues to grow. Technology and AI also came up in several conversations. Some businesses see it as opportunities, while others saw it as disruption. Dave Garden from Kiwi talked about how drastically business has changed because of AI.
Small business owners have been turned upside down.
And later he added,
there's a massive, massive lack of trust.
Meanwhile, Caprice from Urban Cafe talked about how AI is helping smaller companies like theirs to compete.
For us, it's been great because we are a small company.
Technology is changing business. And the question isn't whether that's happening. The question is how businesses choose to respond. Another challenge we heard repeatedly was awareness. Many businesses aren't fighting competitors. They're fighting invisibility. Rob from Alley Cat said,
Honestly, the last couple months is just awareness.
Joseph from Hotworks put it this way.
Brand awareness is everything.
And Theo from Wicked Wolf shared a frustration many business owners can relate to.
Every day I hear people saying, the Wicked Wolf, it's on my list, I want to go. And they haven't been.
People can't support businesses they don't know exists. And that reality makes marketing more important than ever. And one thing that encouraged me throughout this series was that despite all these challenges, business owners still believe in Long Beach. They still see opportunity here. Joseph from Hotworks said,
what truly brought us to Long Beach was a couple of the immediate factors of the density in the community, the long-standing community.
Jax from Watch Me Sports Bar said,
I think Long Beach is the perfect place to have this kind of a bar restaurant concept.
And Leonard from Midnight Oil said,
all the positive changes that we're going through made us feel a lot more comfortable about choosing that location.
Even in a difficult economy, people are still investing here. They're still opening businesses here. They're still betting on Long Beach. And maybe that's the biggest takeaway from this entire series is optimism. Not blind optimism, not pretending things are easy, but the belief that effort still matters, that community still matters, that business ownership is still worth pursuing. Rob from Alley Cat said this.
Even when you're scared, just go. Just get it. Just do it.
And BC Hoffman said,
take the jump.
At the same time, Joseph from Hotworks reminded us,
you got to fall in love with the process first.
And finally, Jax from Watch Me Sports Bar said,
listening to your instincts and believing in yourself.
Those 4 quotes might be the entire Small Business Resiliency Series summed up in less than a minute. Business is hard. The economy is challenging and consumers are changing. Technology is evolving, but Long Beach entrepreneurs continue to adapt, innovate, and grow. To every business owner who shared their stories throughout this series, thank you. And to everyone listening, remember this. Support local, support small business, because behind every storefront is a story. And behind every story is someone working incredibly hard to keep their dream alive. And what you just heard was just a very small tidbit of what their entire full-length episode is all about. So I encourage you, Go through the Small Business Resiliency. Go look at their podcast. Go listen to them. Put it on your to-do list because their insight goes much deeper than what we just talked about here in this really, really short episode. I hope you got something out of it. I hope that if anything else, you still remain optimistic. You still remain energetic about Long Beach and about the small business opportunities that lie ahead and why it's so important that we all come together to support small business in our community. I'm Stuart Takehara. Thanks for listening to this episode of The Catalyst, and I will see you in the next episode. Have a good one. We'll see you. Bye.